We're concerned here with reflective practice in relation to our own professional role as teachers rather than in terms of student learning. However, what we of course understand is that these two domains, teacher learning and student learning, are not necessarily separate. In fact, they influence one another. And so the reflective practitioner needs to understand the diversity of the influences on their particular role in the classroom and the diversity of definitions in relation to reflective practice. And some of the definitions we can look at, for example, reflective practice is about evaluating the effectiveness of one's teaching. That's a very simple starting point. It can also be described in terms of examining teaching from the perspective of the learner. And we can also think of reflective practice in terms of the teacher developing consciously about their role as a teacher and becoming more self-aware about themselves as a teacher, developing their professional identity. We can also say that reflective practice is a deliberation, a critical thinking on professional practice for teachers. And this is what described as reflection on action. And we can also think of definitions in terms of intuitive and implicit applications of professional knowledge by the teacher. And this application is in terms of specific teaching and learning settings. And this is what's described as reflection in action. And other definitions that we can consider about reflective practice and the reflective practitioner include the individuals developing self-awareness in terms of respect for themselves as teachers, respect for the profession, and respect for the processes of learning that the students are engaging with. And it's through these processes, this developing self-awareness and developing understanding of how learners develop in terms of knowledge and skills, that the reflective practitioner can develop their professional identity. We can also think about the reflective practitioner using reflective practice, using critical thinking to deepen their understanding of their role as a professional, deepening their understanding of their role as a teacher in the light of experience. And in terms of this definition, we can link to Kolb's model of reflective practice, basing our understanding of our decisions upon feedback that we're acquiring from experience. And in terms of this model, taking reflective practice forward means that the reflective practitioner is taking a metacognitive stance on their role as a teacher. They're theorizing from experience and therefore constructing abstract understandings about the experiences that they're having and framing these understandings from a practical point of view. And reflective practice, therefore, is not just a process that the teacher engages with. It is indeed a way of being for a teacher. The reflective practitioner is not a label that a teacher holds, but it is part of their professional identity and part of the approach that they use in terms of the profession.